As the beautiful stranger disappeared into a nearby house, Jidenna turned to Ago with a mischievous glint in his eyes. "Let's find out what she's up to in there," he suggested, his voice barely above a whisper. "We will wait until she leaves and then we will sneak in and see for ourselves." Once upon a time, in a land far, far away, there existed a dense and mysterious jungle. This jungle was not like any other. It was filled with secrets and danger that made it forbidden to enter. No one dared to venture into its depths, for those who did were never seen again. But amidst the ominous trees and lurking shadows, there was a peculiar phenomenon. Every now and then, a stunning stranger emerged from the heart of the deadly jungle. She was a vision of beauty, captivating all who laid eyes upon her. Her presence stirred curiosity and wonder among the villagers nearby. This mysterious woman was unlike any other they had ever seen. She moved with grace and elegance, her every step a dance of mystery and allure. Despite her beauty, she remained silent, keeping her thoughts and feelings hidden from the world. The villagers couldn't help but drawn to her enchanting presence. They yearned to unravel the mystery that surrounded her, to befriend her and learn her story. Yet she remained elusive, drifting in and out of their lives like a whisper in the wind. When she visited the nearby village, people would stop and stare, mesmerized by her presence. But she never stayed for long. With each passing visit, she seemed to grow more distant, as if bound by an invisible force that kept her from truly connecting with others. Her silence only fueled the villagers' curiosity. They whispered among themselves, speculating about her origins and the secrets she held within. Some believed she was a spirit sent to watch over the jungle and its mysteries. Others thought she was a lost princess seeking refuge from a kingdom far away. But no one dared to approach her. Her aura of mystery and the tales of the jungle kept them at bay. They watched from afar, yearning to understand the enigma that was the beautiful stranger. In their village, there lived a boy named Ago. Ago was like any other village boy, full of curiosity and dreams. But one day, something extraordinary happened that changed his life forever. As Ago roamed the village with his friend, he caught sight of the beautiful stranger. It was as if time stood still as he gazed upon her radiant presence. His heart skipped a beat, and in that moment, he knew he had fallen deeply in love. Excitedly, Ago turned to his friend Jidenna, his heart brimming with emotion. "Jidenna, look! Isn't she the most beautiful woman you've ever seen?" he exclaimed, his eyes shining with admiration. Jidenna chuckled, shaking his head in amusement. "Ago, you've fallen under her spell, haven't you? But remember, she doesn't even know you exist," he replied, trying to temper Ago's infatuation. But Ago couldn't shake off the enchantment that had taken hold of his heart. Day after day, he watched as the beautiful stranger graced the village with her presence, her elegance captivating everyone who crossed her path. Yet, Ago remained hesitant to approach her. His heart raced at the mere thought of speaking to her, his words tangled in a knot of nerves. How could he, a simple village boy, dare to approach someone as enchanting as her? As time passed, Ago's love for the beautiful stranger only deepened. He found himself daydreaming about her, longing to unravel the mystery that surrounded her. Desperate for guidance, he turned to his friend Jidenna for advice. Jidenna, I can't stop thinking about her, Ago confessed, his voice tinged with longing. But I don't know how to talk to her. What should I do? Jidenna sighed, shaking his head at Ago's love-stick demeanor. Ago, you are letting your heart lead you astray, he warned, trying to reason with his friend. You don't even know anything about her. Falling in love with a stranger is like chasing a shadow. You will only find darkness in the end. But Ago refused to heed to his friend's cautionary words. To him, the beautiful stranger was a beacon of light in a world of darkness. He couldn't bear to imagine a life without her, even if it meant facing the unknown. Ago's heart raced with excitement as he made up his mind to follow the beautiful stranger into the forest. I have to follow her, he whispered to himself, his voice filled with determination. I need to tell her how I feel about her. I have to try. But as Ago shared his decision with his friend Jidenna, a shadow of concern clouded Jidenna's face. Ago, are you sure about this? Jidenna asked, his voice tinged with worry. I have a bad feeling about this strange woman. What if she leads you into danger? Ago paused. Considering Jidenna's words, his friend's concern weighed heavily on his mind, like a stone sinking into a river. But Ago couldn't ignore the pull of his heart, the longing that stirred within him, like a gentle breeze rustling through the trees. My friend, I understand. I understand you very much, Ago replied, his voice steady despite the doubts that gnawed at the soul. But I cannot ignore this feeling inside me. I must follow her. No matter the risk, I must follow her. As the golden sun dipped low on the horizon, casting long shadows across the village road, Ago and Jidenna stood in anticipation, awaiting the arrival of the beautiful stranger. Ago's heart raced with excitement, while Jidenna watched with a mixture of curiosity and concern. There she is, Jidenna whispered, nudging Ago gently. The love of your life, just as you've always dreamed. Ago's heart fluttered at the sight of the beautiful stranger, her presence like a ray of sunshine on a cloudy day. With a nod of determination, he and Jidenna followed her as she made her way through the village, her graceful stride a testament to her elegance and poise. As the beautiful stranger disappeared into a nearby house, Jidenna turned to Ago with a mischievous glint in his eyes. Let's find out what she's up to in there, he suggested, his voice barely above a whisper. We will wait until she leaves and then we will sneak in and see for ourselves. Ago hesitated for a moment, torn between his desire to uncover the truth and the nagging sense of apprehension that gnawed at his conscience. But with Jidenna's reassurance, he nodded eagerly, his heart pounding with excitement. And so they waited in silence, their breaths held in anticipation as they watched the house with bated breath. Minutes turned into hours, the night sky painting a canvas of stars overhead as they waited for the beautiful stranger to emerge. Finally, the moment arrived. The door creaked open and the beautiful stranger stepped out in the cool night air, her silhouette bathed in the soft glow of the moonlight. With a quick glance around, she disappeared into the darkness, leaving Ago and Jidenna alone with their curiosity. With a sense of determination, Ago and Jidenna approached the house, their footsteps echoing in the silence of the night. But as they reached the doorway, a sudden chill swept over them, freezing them in their tracks. A gravely voice pierced the stillness, sending shivers down their spines. Who are you? What do you want? It demanded, its tone tinged with menace. Leave now before it's too late. Ago's heart pounded in his chest as fear gripped him like a vice. He glanced at Jidenna, whose face was pale with terror, his eyes wide with apprehension. Without a word, they turned and fled into the night, their footsteps echoing in the darkness as they raced away from the ominous house. Ago's heart sank as he realized that his quest for love had led him down a path filled with danger and uncertainty. As they caught their breath, Jidenna turned to Ago with a look of resignation. "I can't help you anymore, Ago," he said, his voice heavy with regret. "You have to stop all of this before it's too late." With a heavy heart, Ago watched as Jidenna disappeared into the night, leaving him alone with his thoughts and his dreams of a love that seemed destined to remain forever out of reach. As the days passed, Ago found himself consumed by thoughts of the mysterious stranger. Her image lingered in his mind like a haunting melody, her presence a constant reminder of the love he dared to chase. "Why do I have to do this?" Ago whispered to himself, his voice filled with uncertainty. "What do I do now? Should I let it go?" Ago tried as he could, but could not shake off the hold that the beautiful stranger had on his heart. Her enchanting presence beckoned to him like a siren song, drawing him ever closer to the edge of his desires. "No, no, no, no," Ago muttered, shaking his head in frustration. "I have to see him one more time. Yes, I have to." That evening, Ago returned home with a heavy heart, the weight of his emotions pressing down upon him like a burden too heavy to bear. He lay upon his bed, his thoughts swelling like a leaf caught in a whirlwind, until sleep claimed him and carried him away to the dreams filled with longing and uncertainty. 2 days later, Jidenna arrived at Ago's doorstep, his face grave with concern. "Ago, we need to talk," he said, his voice tinged with urgency. "I'm worried about the path you are taking. You need to stay away from that stranger. You know nothing about her." Ago listened in silence as Jidenna spoke his words like a warning bell tolling in the distance. He knew that his friend spoke from a place of love and concern, but still Ago could not ignore the pull of his heart, the longing that tugged at his soul like a river rushing to the sea. "I appreciate your concern, Jidenna," Ago replied, his voice soft yet resolute, "but I cannot turn away from the one who holds my heart. I must see her for the last time, to bid her farewell and find closure." Jidenna's eyes softened with understanding, his gaze filled with a mixture of sadness and acceptance. "Just promise me one thing, Ago," he said, his voice tinged with emotion. "Promise me that you won't do anything foolish, that you will keep yourself safe no matter what." Ago nodded solemnly, his heart heavy with the weight of his friend's words. "I promise, Jidenna," he replied, his voice a whisper in the stillness of the night. "I will tread carefully, and I will heed your words of caution." With a final embrace, Jidenna bid Ago farewell, his footsteps echoing in the silence as he disappeared into the night. Ago watched him go, his heart filled with gratitude for the friend who had stood by him through thick and thin. And so, as the night descended upon the village, Ago prepared himself for the journey that lay ahead, his heart filled with hope and trepidation, his mind swelling with thoughts of the beautiful stranger who had captured his soul. Early the next morning, Ago went to the usual spot, which is the village road where he and Jidenna usually meet the beautiful stranger. But he waited all day long, and the beautiful stranger never showed up. Ago got so worried and went home sad that day. He was awake throughout the night, thinking about the beautiful stranger, praying and hoping that she was alright. Ago was so worried that he kept on going to that very spot, which is the village road, every blessed day. Days passed and weeks passed, and Ago continued going there and still never saw her for a day. And that got Ago so worried. And one fateful day, as the sun cast its golden rays upon the village, Ago's heart quickened with anticipation as he spotted the beautiful stranger once again. With trembling hands and a voice filled with nervousness, he approached her, his heart laid bare before her. My name is Ago, he stammered, his words faltering as he struggled to express the depth of his emotions. Since I set my eyes on you, I feel something so strong for you. I I would love to know you more. Please, I would love to know more about you. The beautiful stranger remained silent, her expression unreadable as she regarded Ago with a mixture of curiosity and apprehension. But Ago persisted, his determination unwavering in the face of her silence. Please, I just want to know you, he pleaded, his voice tinged with desperation. I want to understand the mystery that surrounds you, to unravel the secrets that lie within your heart. But the beautiful stranger's response was not what Ago had hoped for. With a voice filled with sorrow, she spoke, her words a warning that fell upon deaf ears. Don't follow me, she said, her voice soft yet firm. Don't follow me. Ago's heart sank at her words, his hopes dashed like waves crashing upon the shore. But despite her warning, he could not bring himself to turn away. The pull of his heart was too strong, the longing too deep to ignore. And so, Ago followed the beautiful stranger deep into the heart of the jungle, his footsteps echoing in the silence as he pursued her with reckless abandon. But with each step he took, a sense of unease gnawed at his soul, a voice of reason whispering in the depth of his mind. As they ventured deeper into the labyrinth of trees and shadows, the beautiful stranger's warning grew more urgent, her voice filled with fear and desperation. You have followed me enough, she cried, her words echoing in the stillness of the forest. Stop following me. Don't come close, I am warning you. Please don't follow me, go back. But Ago's resolve remained unshaken, his determination fueled by the fire of his love for the beautiful stranger. He ignored her pleas, his heart blinded by the light of his desire. If you will follow me, you shall regret it, she warned, her voice trembling with emotion. I am warning you. Leave. Leave now. But Ago could not be swayed. With each passing moment, his obsession with the beautiful stranger grew stronger, his resolve hardened by the belief that their love was destined to conquer all. And so, as Ago pressed forward into the heart of the jungle, he knew not what trials awaited him, nor what consequences his actions would bring. As Ago pressed deeper into the heart of the jungle, the beautiful stranger's pleas grew more urgent, her voice trembling with fear and desperation. Go back before it's too late, she begged, her eyes filled with anguish. Leave before they get here, before my husband arrives. Ago's heart skipped a beat at her words, his mind swelling with confusion and disbelief. Huh? Husband? He stammered, his voice barely above a whisper. You are married? The beautiful stranger nodded, her gaze haunted by the weight of her secret. Yes, I am married, she whispered, her voice heavy with sorrow. But there is more to the story than you know. Have you ever asked why there is no king in your kingdom? Ago's brow furrowed in confusion as he struggled to make sense of her words. Our king. His family was taken away by the gods, he replied, his voice tinged with sadness. He sacrificed himself for the villagers. The beautiful stranger shook her head, a sad smile playing at the corners of her lips. That's not the full story, she said, her voice barely a whisper. Let me tell you everything. And then you must leave. Ago hesitated for a moment, torn between his desire to uncover the truth and his instinct to protect the beautiful stranger from harm. But in the end, his curiosity won out, and he nodded eagerly, his heart racing with anticipation. And so, the beautiful stranger began to recount the tale of long ago, when the village faced a deadly threat from a fearsome beast that threatened to devour them all. The king, in a desperate bid to save his people, had made a pact with the beast, offering his throne and his own daughter as sacrifices to appease its wrath. Ago's eyes widened in shock as he listened to the stranger's words, the pieces of the puzzle slowly falling into place. How? How do you know all this? He asked, his voice trembling with emotion. The beautiful stranger's eyes met his, her gaze steady and unwavering. Because I am the little girl, she whispered, her voice filled with sorrow. I am the one who was sacrificed to the beast. I am married to him. Ago's heart sank at her revelation, his mind reeling with disbelief. But even as he struggled to come to terms with the truth, a fire ignited within him, a fierce determination to protect the woman he loved and the village that had become his home. I cannot leave you, he declared, his voice filled with conviction. We must fight for you and our people. We cannot let the beast's tyranny continue. But the beautiful stranger shook her head, her eyes filled with resignation. No, Ago, she said, her voice soft yet firm. If we defy the beast, the villagers will suffer. We cannot risk their lives for our own freedom. Ago's heart sank at her words, his mind racing with thoughts of the impossible choices that lay ahead. But even as the darkness threatened to consume them, a glimmer of hope remained, a flicker of light in the shadows that surrounded them. As Ago and the beautiful stranger stood face to face with the fearsome beast, its roars echoed through the dense jungle, shaking the very ground beneath their feet. Ago's heart pounded in his chest, his hands clenched into fists as he faced the creature that threatened to devour them all. You dare intrude in my kingdom and think you can challenge me, the beast bellowed, its voice filled with fury and malice. Be ready to meet your end. Ago's eyes blazed with righteous anger as he stared down the beast, his voice steady despite the fear that gnawed at his soul. How can you hold this little girl captive, you wicked beast? His words ringing with a clarion call in the stillness of the forest. What has she done to you to deserve such cruelty? But the beast only laughed, its laughter a chilling echo of the darkness that lurked within its heart. You dare to question me, mortal? He asked, its eyes burning with a fiery rage. You shall pay dearly for your insolence. The beautiful stranger trembled at the beast's words, her eyes filled with sorrow and fear. Ago, please, she pleaded, her voice trembling with emotion. You must run. The beast is too powerful, too wicked. It will not spare you. But Ago stood his ground, his resolve unshakable in the face of danger. I would rather die than run away like a coward, he declared, his voice filled with defiance. The beast's fury knew no bounds at Ago's defiance. its anger boiling over like a tempest unleashed. "I shall devour you," it roared, its voice reverberating through the jungle like thunder. "And I shall wipe out your village in one fell swoop. You have no right to set foot in my kingdom." Argo's heart sank at the beast's words, the weight of its threat pressing down upon him like a mountain. But even as fear threatened to consume him, a spark of courage flickered within his soul, a flame of hope that refused to be extinguished. With a roar that shook the trees and a leap that seemed to defy gravity, the beast pounced on Argo, its massive jaws gaping wide like a cavern hungry for prey. Argo, though filled with fear, felt a surge of strength deep within him. It was as if the gods themselves had whispered courage into his heart. The beast's claw tore through the air, aiming to rend Argo apart. But Argo, born with a spirit as big as the sky, stood firm. He knew he was meant for this moment, destined to break the chains of fear that bound his people to the beast's cruel reign. As the beast lunged, Argo felt an otherworldly power course through his veins. It was a power born of righteousness, a power that could not be matched by the darkness that surrounded them. With each blow exchanged, Argo grew stronger, his resolve unyielding in the face of danger. The jungle echoed with the sounds of their battle, the clash of steel against flesh, the roar of the beast mingling with Argo's determined cries. But amidst the chaos, Argo remained focused, his eyes fixed on the beast before him, his heart filled with a burning desire to set his people free. And then, in a moment that seemed to stretch into eternity, Argo delivered the final blow. With a mighty roar, he struck at the beast's jaw with all his might, his fist guided by the hand of destiny itself. And as the beast stumbled, its monstrous form crumbling to the ground, Argo knew that victory was his. But even as he stood triumphant, a sense of solemnity filled his heart, for he knew that the battle was far from over, that the road ahead would be fraught with challenges and trials. But with the strength of his spirit and the love of his people to guide him, Argo was ready to face whatever the future held. As the beast fell to the ground, defeated by Argo's unwavering courage, a sense of awe filled the air. The beautiful stranger, who had been held captive for so long, stood in stunned disbelief. Her eyes, once filled with fear, now sparkled with hope and joy. Argo approached her, his heart pounding with relief and triumph. "We did it," he said, his voice filled with wonder. "We are free." The beautiful stranger nodded, her smile radiant as the sun breaking through the clouds. Together, they turned and ran, their footsteps echoing through the forest as they fled from the darkness that had once held them captive. As they emerged from the depth of the jungle, Argo felt a weight lift from his shoulders. The air seemed lighter and the sky brighter, as if the very world rejoiced in their victory. And as they reached the edge of the forest, Argo knew that a new chapter was about to begin. Taking the princess by the hand, Argo led her back to their village, where the people waited with bated breath. As they caught sight of Argo and the princess, their faces light up with joy and relief, for they knew that their long nightmare was finally over. The king, who had sacrificed everything to save his people, looked upon Argo with gratitude and pride. "You have brought us peace," he said, his voice filled with emotion. "You have shown us what it means to be brave and true. And so, with the beast vanished and the kingdom liberated, Ago and the princess were married in a joyous celebration that echoed through the land. The villagers danced and sang, their hearts filled with hope for the future. Their king, that is the princess's father, decided with the kingdom that Ago should be crowned the next king because he deserved to be their king. And together, Ago and the princess ruled their kingdom with wisdom and compassion, their love guiding them through every trials and triumph. And as the years passed, their kingdom flourished, a beacon of light in a world once shrouded in darkness. As the sun set on the kingdom, Ago and the princess stood together, looking out over the land they now ruled with kindness and fairness. The people cheered for their beloved rulers, grateful for the peace and prosperity that had returned to their home. In the days that followed, Ago and Princess worked tirelessly to rebuild their kingdom and heal the wounds left by the beast's tyranny. Every night, Ago and the princess sat together under the stars, sharing stories of their adventures and dreams for the future. They laughed and danced, their hearts overflowing with love and happiness. And as the years passed, their kingdom flourished like never before. The forests grew thick and green, the rivers ran clear and bright, and the villagers lived in harmony with nature and each other. But amidst the peace and tranquility, Ago never forgot the lessons he had learned on his journey. He knew that true strength lay not in power or might, but in kindness and compassion, and he vowed to always protect his kingdom and his people with a heart as pure as gold. And so, my dear friends, remember the tale of Ago and the princess, for it teaches us that even in the darkest of times, love and courage can conquer all. The most important lesson in this story is that in our lives, just like Ago faced challenges in the jungle, we may encounter difficult situations or problems that seem scary or overwhelming. But by being brave and standing up for what is right, just like Ago did when he fought the beast, we can overcome these challenges and make things better for ourselves and those around us. Showing kindness and love like Ago did when he protected the princess and his village, and by working together with others, just like Ago and the princess ruled their kingdom together, we can create a world where everyone is happy, safe, and treated with kindness and respect, teaching us that no matter how big or scary things may seem, there is always hope and strength within us to make things better. And as you go forth into the world, may you too find the strength to face your fears and the wisdom to follow your heart. And with that, our story comes to an end. But the spirit of Ago and the princess will live on the hearts of all who hear their tale. Until we meet again, may your dreams be as bright as the stars, and may your adventures be filled with love and laughter. Thank you so much for watching. Please kindly comment, like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more interesting videos.